it's Kelsey from AKA Beauty, and today I'm finally getting around to my 2017 year in review. I've been doing this for 3 years now. I think I did it for 2015 and 2016, so this is going to be my third year. My other two I'm pretty sure were on my old channel, but I'm going to make sure to put them all in a playlist on this channel. So you guys can see the other two if you wanted to, but mainly these videos are for myself so that I can look back on my year and remember what it was like. So that's why this is super late. I usually do this in early January. This is probably going to be uploaded in February at some point. So I understand that this is late, but it's mainly for myself. So even though it wasn't I didn't get to publish it on the new year, I still get to look back at this video and remember what 2017 was like. So here we go. I'm going to kind of separate this by month/quarter. So in quarter one, starting with January, my family does this retreat thing every year. So I have my months here and a summary of my quarter here. And so for each quarter I had kind of an emotion I remember like feeling through the overall 3 months. So I'll tell you guys kind of what went on in those 3 months and then kind of what it felt like. I don't know if that makes sense, but this makes sense for me, so hopefully you guys just get it. Okay, so in January, the main biggest thing that happened was me and my sister and my parents went to Israel. We stayed with some friends of ours. We started off in Tel Aviv, which we never usually stay in Tel Aviv. We usually go straight to Jerusalem. But this year we stayed in Tel Aviv at a hotel there. We had this amazing breakfast every morning. We found this gorgeous restaurant right on the Mediterranean Sea, like a couple blocks walk down from our hotel, and we went there every day, and the spread was just amazing. It was so beautiful. It was so delicious. It was one of the best things about that trip. It's just the Israeli food is my favorite. I don't like falafel, but I like pretty much everything else. And then we went into Jerusalem and we stayed with some friends of ours, and that was really fun.
Kelsey, smile.
Wow.
Yeah, I can smile.
It just lights up the day.
Hiding.
Hiding what?
Riding. Rising?
You do this with makeup. You hide your face. Hiding.
Priming.
Hiding.
As you prime your face, yeah.
Yes. Hiding the.
Priming the.
Dude.
That's priming the what?
Hiding the
Purse.
Priming the pump.
Yes! See?
Just getting to, we used to go there quite often. I don't really think I've talked about that much on this channel, but we used to go there a lot and stay. We had an apartment there that we would go back and forth between a lot, and so our friends lived in the same apartment building, so getting to like relive those memories of when we used to stay there all the time was really fun. We got to visit the old places, and it was just a really neat experience. In February, my mom and dad took my two youngest sisters, Kyra and Elisa, to Orlando, Florida for a Disney trip, and I had always wanted to do this. We each, for our Christmas present that year, we each got a trip. So me and Sydney got to go to Israel, and then Elisa and Kyra got to go to Orlando. And this is something I've always wanted to do, but I'm a little too old. They decided to do it with the younger ones, but I'm still really jealous about it. They took them to a Disney hotel, which we used to go to Disney every year, but we would rent a house and we would go to 2 of the parks. We'd stay there for like a week or something like that, and then 2 of those days we'd go to a park. But this time they took them to an actual Disney hotel, and they got like all the passes, and they went to all 4 of the parks like every single day, and it sounded like a lot of fun. So meanwhile, while they were there, me and Jackson were still in public school at this point. Most of my life I was homeschooled, but I was in public school for my senior year last year.
I know you're supposed to say what.
Stop, I'm trying to sleep.
Oh my god.
It's a video, isn't it? Wait, is Seth talking to someone named Beth?
Oh, his grandma goes, Seth, Beth's here. When I like walk into the, you're Beth. You ain't gonna do any time of day after I get done with you.
So me and Jackson were still going to Highlands, and my sister Sydney was doing her online school, so we were the older three, so we just stayed home alone. And that wasn't horrible. It was a little bit boring, but it was all right. Just knowing that they were there was a little bit sad. We stayed with my grandma for a weekend, I think. Another thing that happened in February was we started a Bible study on our street, A Story from Life, and we met some really cool friends through that, so I just like to pinpoint that point in time where we got to meet the Whites, the Garretts, and the Kennys, who have been 3 couples that have been a big part of our life ever since we met them in February of last year. In March, nothing super much happened. It was kind of like, you know, that starting to unravel the school year. Everyone's getting really just kind of sick and tired of everything. So quarter 1 was actually really hard. We were all really sad because the November before my grandpa had just passed away, so we were still coming out of that. It was winter, you know, like the holidays have passed. It was just, I don't know, I don't have very fond memories. I don't have many memories of that time just because it felt slow and like I was still in school, I was ready to leave. So my emotion for Q1 was sad. Okay, quarter 2 was my favorite out of this year. I had a really good third quarter as well, but Q2 got to do some fun stuff. So in April, my mom and dad took my brother Jackson to Switzerland. That was his trip, and that sounded like amazing. I never thought about going to Switzerland before that, but ever since they came back and like told us all about it, I've been wanting to go so bad. So that sounded like a ton of fun. He had like hot chocolate every single day with like Swiss chocolate, like, and that's the thing in our family, when we go to a restaurant, because we have 5 kids, it's like everyone gets water, but since he was like the only child, he always got hot chocolate with all this meal. So that was like a big thing that he would tell us about. He got to climb these mountains and stuff, and they went to like 3 little towns in Switzerland and rode the train, so I really liked getting to hear about that. This is Adventures Without Mom, Dad, or Jackson, part 1, day 1, minute 1. We're on our way to Boone County to go to Skyline and the Boone County Library.
We're on a toadstool on the far side of the courtyard.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
2 really fun things that happened was my friend Naomi got to come and visit me, and we did 2 really fun things. We went to my senior prom.
We're at prom. Woo! What's up, guys? There's like no songs that we know, so we're just and also like 90% of the people who are out dancing just like stand there and do like one of these things. So we're here until we hear a song that we really like and that we really know. We're gonna win.
That was a lot of fun, just because neither of us really thought we would get to go to a prom. Just being homeschooled and stuff, you're like, oh, if we go to a prom, it's probably gonna be lame, you know. But we went to my senior prom, and that was so much fun. We got these really gorgeous dresses. We did a whole photo shoot. My mom took pictures of us. We went to the actual prom, and I don't know, it was just really fun getting to experience that together. But the weekend before that, we had gone on a college visit to Asbury in Lexington, I think it is. It's in Kentucky somewhere, and that was fun because it was sort of like a mini road trip, and we had always talked about going on road trips together. So it's like a 2-hour drive. We took ourselves. We were adults.
Okay.
Look at that masterpiece.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
We went down there. We spent the night in a dorm room. It was like a whole media communication weekend, because media communication was the major we were looking into going there for. And mainly I was just the one that was thinking about going, and she was like, oh, media communication, that sounds like fun, because she's a photographer and a videographer. So I dragged her along with me, and she ended up really liking it. And she actually considered, after the trip, I really liked the school, but I just decided that going there really wasn't for me. But she got really interested in it and looked into it and thought she might go there, and right now she hasn't gone, but she might in the future, who knows. But that was really fun, getting to be adults for a weekend together. In May, I finally graduated. I was free of school. I'm so happy.
Come on, Jackson, it's our last day of school. It's our last day of school. It's our last day of school.
Ever since then, I've been just like, I feel like a ton of weight was taken off of me. I'm in a gap year, but I'm also not really planning on going to college at this point. I just don't really know. I have a whole video I posted about that if you guys want to see it. It's called Why I'm Not Going to College. But basically, I graduated, and that was like, I'm done with school. So that was just liberating. In June, I did some really fun stuff with my dad. So he goes to VidCon. This is his 2nd year going to VidCon for his company. He has a video production studio, so he goes there to just learn a lot about the video industry.
Okay, I'm just chilling here eating my Italian ice, and Logan Paul runs by me.
practically jumps over my bench, and now everyone's chasing him. And I have my YouTube channel, and so he decided to bring me this year as a creator, and I got to go and meet other YouTubers. I met Chelsea Crockett. That was a lot of fun. I met my first fan. If you guys watch my vlogs, I vlogged while I was there. So I met my first fan, which was so funny because she used to watch my old guitar videos, which I don't post on that channel anymore. But she was like, oh my gosh, Kelsey Pryor, I learned guitar from you. And it was so cute. I was just like, I did not expect that. Because I was with Chelsea and, you know, people were stopping her like every second to say hi. Because she, I don't know, if you guys probably know who she is, I assume, just because she's, I have a book right here actually, Chelsea Crockett. So I was hanging out with her, and I was used to people stopping us like for her, and then they stopped us and were like, oh my gosh, I watch your videos, and I was thinking that they were talking to her, and then I realized that they were talking to me, and I was like, wait, what? My videos? That's crazy, what? So that was really cool. And then my dad also took me to Disney, which is so weird because like every time we go, it's with my entire family. I'm used to like someone pushing a stroller, or someone's hand to hold, or like, okay, we wait in a longer line, you know, we have to like get 7 people on a ride at once, you know, that kind of a thing. I'm very used to that. So just being me and my dad and being like, this is so weird. It was so much fun though. We went to California Adventureland. So we didn't go to actual Disneyland. We went to the California one. I don't know, it was just really fun. It was a really fun experience between me and my dad. I got to meet Captain America and Black Widow. It was so much fun. We never wait in line for characters just because it takes forever, but I happened to be the first one in line for Black Widow, and then my dad had to take a business call while we were there, so while he was doing that, I was waiting in line for Captain America. So that was really fun. Another thing that I did was I went on a trip. I vlogged through all of these trips, by the way. I went on another trip with my grandparents and my parents to the East Coast. We went to Newport, Rhode Island, and we went to Marblehead, Massachusetts, where my brother was born. So Newport, Rhode Island was just a fun like touristy experience for us. We got to look at the Newport mansions and everything. And then Marblehead was where we lived when I was little. And so we got to like look around it. We visited some old friends and stuff, and that was just really fun because it was just me and my grandparents. I felt like an only child, and I don't know, all these trips were just so much fun, and they were all in the same month, and it was like lots of experiences, and I don't even know how to explain it just because it was really, I don't know, they were just special. So that was cute too, and my emotion or adjective for that quarter was fun. That was just lots of fun. I'm not doing very good with words right now. Q3, July, August, and September. So in July, my cousin Joseph got married, and I was the videographer for that. I really liked being the videographer for his wedding just because I'd never done anything like that before, and like telling myself like, oh yeah, I could do this, and like really liking the result was really fun for me. Then, of course, the most fun thing about July and August, we went to TCL again. So I started making these year in review videos during my first year of TCL, so it's kind of fun because I have a video for each year that I did TCL. I can go back and see like what it was like. This was by far the best TCL we had. First of all, I went a week early. TCL, sorry, I'm not explaining what that is. I also made a video about TCL, so if you guys are interested in that, you can go check that out as well. TCL stands for Training and Christian Living. It's at the camp that my dad grew up at in Seattle, and it's like the discipleship program that they have for teens. It's 10 guys and 10 girls living in the same, like in a cabin, not the same cabin, in a lodge, for 3 weeks serving the camp. We do all the grounds work, we do all of the cleaning, all of the meal serving, and then we have 2 meetings a day that are like discipleship Bible study meetings. And then, so that's for ages like 16 to 18, and then there's junior TCL, which is like 14 and 15. That's only for 1 week, and you have to be 18 to cabin lead that, and so I was old enough, and so I went a week early this year. I turned 18 the last day of junior TCL actually. And so I decided to fly out there, and I met my friend Dylan, and we went and we cabin lit together, and it was so much fun. I got to really bond with my girls. I've never really had an experience like that before because the year before when I did TCL, I flew out a week early to cabin lead junior girls. So that was like, I don't know, 7 and 8 year olds, I think. I don't remember exactly what the age range was, but it was harder to like connect with them. But through TCL, you have your cabin times, you really bond. They're older, they're more mature. You can really like relate to them on a lot of levels just because you were their age like 3 years ago, you know. And so I really like that. I really want to do that again. I don't know if I'll be able to do that this year, but I really loved that experience. It was really special for me. And then our actual TCL started, so me and Dylan stayed for, Dylan's in TCL with me all 3 years. So we stayed in the TCL for the next 3 weeks.
Yo!
Never fine if you're gonna blow.
Yay!
Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on. Go. Hey now.
That's the only part I know is song. Just like
Whoa!
Hey!
Whoa!
Only shooting stars break the mold.
Have you ever felt this moment where you like don't want to exist?
Yes.
dude, I'm having that right now.
Some of it was like repeat people we already knew from previous TCLs, and then a lot of them were new, and that was really fun too because I know that everyone there had different experiences than I did. It just, everyone experiences it in different ways, but for me this was the best TCL just because of like the bonding between all of the TCLers. All the 9 girls in my cabin I was like, I loved and I wanted to be with all the time, and I just didn't have an issue with anybody. And it was the first year that I experienced that. Like when you put 20 teenagers, there's always going to be some sort of drama, but this year it didn't feel like overwhelming. There wasn't really anything negative that happened between the TCLers. There were a few negative experiences that happened that just were like weird. My mom had a heart attack. Like, she's not that old. She's like early 40s. Like, she shouldn't be having a heart attack. And she had one. It was the weirdest thing ever. And they took her to the hospital and they were like, yeah, you had a heart attack. And so that was just really weird. And then it turned out that she didn't actually have a heart attack. I don't know. They were like, you're gonna be on blood pressure medication for the rest of your life. Like, her whole world was getting turned upside down. And then all of a sudden the doctor came back and was like, oh wait, never mind. It wasn't really a heart attack. It's a virus that made it look like you had a heart attack. So it was like so bizarre. But she's not on any medication. She doesn't have a cardiologist, like any of that stuff that she thought she was gonna have. So it was just a lot of really bizarre things. So that was a really, really long July and August. So September, I come home and have a job with my dad's nonprofit called 1000 Houses, and they give me this event to be in charge of called Housecraft. So Housecraft My Baby. We have it quarterly. We just had our second one in January. But so September was our first one, so I got to do the kickoff for that, and that was crazy because we had childcare for like 75 kids, and we had 60 adults in a room with catered dinner and presentations, like TED Talk presentations. And I was in charge of like the venue, the food, the babysitters, like everything. I was in charge. I had help, but I was like the main person. Registration, payments, like things like that. And so that was really fun for me to experience that for the first time, like doing an event like that. Okay, some other fun things that I'm looking at my thing. Okay, some other fun things that happened was I got my ears pierced. Me and my sisters all got our ears pierced, which there's a vlog about that as well. And then I published my book. I've been writing this book since I was like 12, so it's very much a young demographic book, like young adults, preteen type thing. But it was really fun. I did it on Amazon for free. I only get like $1 every time the book is sold, and it's like $9.99, $8.99 or something like that on Amazon. But if you want to go buy it, it's called What Could Be If You Looked. I'll put the link somewhere here. It's called What Could Be If You Looked. It's like a fantasy. It's not fantasy. It's like it's just fiction because it's about girls with superpowers, but it's not fantasy. Yeah, it was really fun to finally get to do that, and like getting the cover for it. Everyone asked me if I took the picture of the cover, but no, that's a picture I bought on like Stock Images or something like that. But it was perfect because it's a girl controlling water, and that's one of the superpowers one of my girls has. So it was really fun. Oh, quarter 3 was new. That was my adjective for that. New just because TCL felt new. I cabin lived for the first time. Oh, also my cousin Annabelle left for a year in September. So it was just a bunch of like Housecraft, like my new job, all of that stuff is new, which kind of bleeds into October because my legs are falling asleep. Kind of bleeds into October because we tested it out for our black belts in October. So my siblings and I and my parents all started doing Taekwondo 3 years ago in January. So basically there's 11 belts and the 9th one is red belt. So my parents, the 9th one is red belt, and then there's recommended black belt, which is black and white stripes, and you have that for 6 months. All of the rest of them are for 2 months each, and then you have the recommended black belt for 6 months, and then you test into your black belt. And so my parents did it with us all the way through red belt, but they didn't test into recommended black belt just because it's more of a commitment that they couldn't make. But all the rest of us did, including my cousin Clayton, and then everyone of us except for my youngest sister Kyra tested and got her black belts. I started working at Ulta, which I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about, especially in my Ulta hauls. That was really fun. I applied at like 9 different places one night, and Ulta's the one I really wanted to get, and they're the only one that contacted me back the next day. They told me after the interview, okay, it'll probably be a couple days before we call you to let you know. And the next day they called me, they're like, hey, you got the job if you want it, come on in and do our onboarding thing. So that was really fast, but it was also really fun. So I remember coming home with my name tag for the first day, like, oh yeah, I got my name tag, like I work at Ulta. So it was really fun. I got a really big discount. A video about that is coming out soon. I'm gonna post a video because I hear present Kelsey, February of 2018 Kelsey, I just quit Ulta just because I was seasonal there. So I'm gonna be uploading a video for you guys of what it's like to work at Ulta. Okay, in November our addition was finally finished. So we started building our addition in October of 2016. In November of 2017 it finally finished. So it took about over a year, and it's great. We've used it for everything. It's big, it has a big gathering place. I moved my room down here. I'm currently in the basement of the addition, so lots of that kind of stuff changed. We had a mother-in-law suite on the 2nd floor, which my dad's parents moved into. They went from like this huge house with like a ton of rooms and stuff down to one room. Like, it has a bedroom, it has a living room, and a kitchen, like all in the same thing. So that was a huge change for them, moving them and everything like that. That all took a long time. They finally sold their house. They've been trying to sell it forever. So that all happened. Boom, 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 boom. I think they moved in, so the addition was finished in like early November, and they moved in right before Thanksgiving, I think. So that's how that happened. Thanksgiving, our whole family came and visited. Oh my gosh, another trip that I have a vlog on. In November, Anna and I went to Myrtle Beach. That was so much fun. We were trying to find a trip because we were just like suffocating. Both not going to college, both working all the time. Like, it just felt kind of like you're stuck. And so we were like, we need a trip to like breather, okay? So my dad gave us his some of his timeshares to get a place, but all of the places that the timeshares could get were resorts, and you have to be 21 to rent a resort room. And so we were like, okay, which awesome adult's gonna take us? And my grandparents were up for it, and so they packed their bags and we drove to Myrtle Beach, and it was so much fun. It was so much fun. You guys have to watch the vlog of Myrtle Beach. It was just, I can't even say enough words. It was relaxing, it was fresh, it just felt fresh. Like, we went grocery shopping, we got some awesome food, we had like amazing meals every night. We went shopping, we went on the beach, we went to coffee shops and wrote and read, and it was just so refreshing, so refreshing. In December, that kicked off with a Family Teams Weekend, which is another thing that we do with my 1,000 Houses nonprofit that I work for. My mom and dad took my sister Elisa to Israel on a trip that they led with a bunch of other people. They took a trip of about 20-something people to Israel, like a big bus, and they had a bunch of fun. I don't know that much about it. Before Christmas, my mom took us to the Nutcracker Ballet, all of her daughters. That was really fun. We went to the Dickens Brunch, which is this really fancy brunch downtown that we take my grandparents to every year. It's so delicious. Kyra had a violin recital, my sisters had a school play, and then Nathan and Dylan visited. They visited for Christmas in December, and that was really fun. They were here for a week, and we got to take them around to see some of our favorite spots. It was very cold. And then we had a New Year's Eve party, and that was so much fun. I've been wanting to do something like that forever. It's 50s themed. So we had like our 50s dresses. I had my hair with like those bangs that go like this. And we had like Kremlin under our dresses, and all the guys dressed up, and we rolled back the carpet and we learned how to swing dance. And it was so much fun. We had a soda fountain where my papa was the soda jerk. I don't know why they call it that. It feels weird to call him a jerk. But he was a soda jerk. it was a fun night. We didn't last all the way until midnight. I think we stayed up till midnight, but the party like ended sooner than that. I feel like I've said that after everything, but it was just so fun. My adjective for Q4 was growth, because it was still new stuff, but lots of it was like kind of pushed me. There's all of the events that I just said that happened in Q4 were all really fun, but there was a lot of hard stuff that just, I don't know, they weren't really things that happened. It was just like the whole thing felt hard, like getting a new job and 2 new jobs, and a bunch of emotional and relational stuff that was just like kind of weighing on me, but it was also helped me grow. So it was a very growing time, obviously being pushed to get my black belt and stuff like that, so it was all growing. So that's the word I would use to describe that. Thank you so much for watching this peek into my life the past year. I know a lot of it I haven't posted about, but lots of the stuff that I said was in vlogs. So if you guys didn't see any of that and want to, you can go over to my vlog playlist where I have all of that stuff if you want to check it out. Usually when I go on a trip, I do vlog. I'm going on a trip to Disney soon, so I'll be posting a vlog about that. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Go check out other videos on my channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at aka_beauty.joy. I have been getting a lot more active on there lately, and so if you haven't followed me there yet, go ahead and follow me. A link to my Twitter is also below. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
You're not Beth.
I'm Beth. So
You mean like Beth
you're
hair?
this, no, so you're this Beth that she's been talking to.
First of all, my name is Ken.
Huh.
Stop! I'm gonna get hot.
Oh girl, you already
You
are.
already are.
Oh!
Oh, you guys are so cute. Hold on, let me walk around. Sorry, Malia. Malia's like, hit me out. Coming at you. I'm Candace, just in case you didn't know.
How was your day?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, yeah.
Kate, is it my turn yet?
This is literally what I have to put up with every day.
Every day. Oh my gosh.
I need some.
He's
Hey.
videotaping you.
Do you mean it here? I'll.
Gara, you give me that back right now, or I'll come up there and I'll kill you for it. Wow.
Hi, Angus.
Angus. Hey, Angus, can you take your phone off of mute?
Okay, now we have to
doing,
go
Cal?
up the hill. Just easy.
Going down the hill, only moving
Push now.
her ankle.
Careful, stop.
Let go of Kyra.
Oh, that was Kelsey's fault.
Oh my gosh.
Get it? Glide. That's gonna be a blooper one though. Kelsey, do not drop the beat. Kelsey, do it. Kelsey, don't drop the beat. Kelsey, don't drop the beat. Don't drop the beat. Beat down. Okay, because you don't. If you laugh, it's not funny. Okay. Are you good? Okay. It's too much. Okay, it's not funny. It's not funny. It's not
No,
funny.
nothing's funny right now.
Kelsey. I'm so bad at this. This is why I could never act. Okay, act this time. Kelsey, you really need to dial down the puns.
And there's Jonathan and Mond and the guy who's all three of his mothers died.
You had 3 of them? I thought you had 2.
No, he had 3. The first one tried to kill him when he was 2, and then she died.
Oh yeah.
The second one abandoned him, and the third one
was the queen.
was the queen, was
Yeah.
the evil queen. Yeah.
Man, that guy's filthy rich. Alright, come on. We can have.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. Oh, sorry.
I didn't mean to hit you. So who should I give the rose to? Oh, I'm on video. I didn't think of that.
Angus paid $2 for a fake rose to give to a girl that he doesn't even know yet. He just wanted to have it because he's a hopeless romantic at heart.
What? That's not true.
What?
Why are you filming me? Ow! No, we're having like, it's a reality TV show. She's talking about my love life. Which is
Yes, his non-existent love life.
I'm not that sad. Yeah, we went on a double date one time.
I know, but
And the other boy
that was one. I'm gonna turn this off now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm scared because you're probably going to beat me up off camera.
Like, do you have like a 5? No. No, you're awful at this game.
Birds were led upstream or stone when Durin woke and walked alone. He named the nameless hills and dells. He drank from yet untasted wells. He stood and looked in
Gandalf's bidding, much though we wearied of the task. But Gandalf bade us hope still for his cure, and we had not the heart to keep him ever in dungeons under the earth, where he would fall back into his old black